we are. You notice I'm always ready, right? So let's get right to the point quickly. Speed day, we're going to get right to the point quickly. Speed day versus power day. Where does that come from? Let me show you something. I'll show you something right now. Here is speed day. You ready? Can you see this? Right. Watch it very carefully. Right? Let me see if you can tell the difference. This is speed day. This is power day. I'm going to do it for you one more time. This is speed day. This is power day. There is no difference. Speed times force equals power. Don't you know the whole equation, EMV squared? Don't you know it? Like, how could you not know this? So I'm going to show you something. Woo, boy. I only have 2 things written on my walls. 2 things in my whole gym. I have no certificates. I've got no special pictures. Well, I got one of Muhammad Ali up there. I've got a beautiful award that I recently got. That's the only thing on my walls. I have a nice little thing by my daughter over there. I've got, the belts are hanging up. Can't even see what degrees they are. But I've got 2 important things written on my walls. That's it. And I want you to see it. So maybe I actually posted it before I did this live video, because it's a reminder even to me constantly when I am practicing. Listen to it. I want to read it, what I wrote word for word, so that you hear and that you can see what I have on my wall. 2 things, and they're in 2 different spots. Listen to it carefully. The laws of physics determine that the force of impact increases with the square of the increase in speed. So if you double the speed of a car, you increase its force of impact by 4 times. You notice I don't have to look at this because I have it in my brain for decades now. Triple the speed of a car and you have the impact is 9 times as great. Let me go over here now and read you the other one that I have here. Let that sink in, and I hope you snapshot it for yourself, right? Here is the only other one I have written. All my stuff is falling all over the darn place. I'm so riled up about this. Let me read you this one, which matches the other one. In mechanics, an impact is a high force. Listen to that. An impact is a high force or shock applied over a short period of time when 2 or more bodies collide. Such a force or acceleration usually has a greater effect than a slower force applied over a longer period of time. So these people you see swinging around thinking they're getting more power, all they're just using is their mass. The guy that I fear the most getting into a ring with are not these guys. I want to go over in the bag and do it. It's not those guys who are over here on the bag and they're going like that, like that. Doesn't bug me in the least. The guy that I fear the most, fear is not the word. My son said, Dad, you actually fear someone? There is one fighter. He doesn't fight anymore. There is one fighter I would concern myself with. I'm not going to mention his name. Some of you who know me know, because I mention him every now and then. The person that concerns me the most is the person I see doing that. Right? Or doing that. Boom! Or doing that. That's the person that I fear the most, because they understand the 2 things I just read to you. Does that now make sense? So when I am here and I am practicing my speed and power, it's all together. So I'll be moving around the bag, boom, boom, right? Doing whatever I got to do on the bag, hitting it the same way. I'll move to the ball. Bang, bang. Jeez, you whiz, man. Woo! Right? Getting my head off the line. Boom! Speed striking it. Doesn't matter. It's going to feel the same way when I hit the bag. And then I'll move over here to my special hard, what I call my special hard cobra head bag. You think I'm going to hit this any different than when you just saw me hitting it? No! Because I understand what I just read to you. Right? Boom! Like that. That's what creates the power. Now, are there drills? Because you think about it. You're only born, and a lot of people don't know this, you're only born with a certain amount of speed and power, you know. And you can only add maybe 10, 12% additional to that on top of your lifetime. And the only thing that adds to that is proper technique and the understanding of what I just said. This is why a bigger fighter, my teacher always said, the people you should fear the most in this system is someone you teach who is 5'9" and over, and who's bigger and understands these concepts and is not trying to come at you like this, but he understands what I just said and he's bigger and he has more mass, right? Boom! And he does that to you, or that, or that. That's the guy. Imagine I can do this live and not worry about messing up. That's the risk I take, right? And hit you, boom, like that. Short, speed, snap back, everything I just read to you on the wall. That's the person. Somebody like Sheldon De Silva. I think he's listening now. Somebody like, if Dwight Woods gets this down packed, I'm going to stop teaching him soon. He has that reach, he has that mass. My teacher, 6'2", 6'3", right? And if you think to yourself, well, wait a minute, what about people like Tyson? You're not thinking. Have you ever heard what other fighters say about Tyson after they come out of a ring with him? They said, he wasn't the fact that he was hitting that powerful. It's the speed at which he was coming with and the sharpness, the no dragging of your strikes. They said that's what stunned us the most. People don't realize that. Because Tyson understood, even when he was going short. Even when, you see, people don't realize this nonsense. They're thinking that he's on the bag and he's going like that. He's not doing that. Don't be stupid. If you look at him carefully, you will see that. You'll always see his hands snapping back as he's moving through, because he understands that also. So if a smaller person like me understands this theory, especially that EMV squared, that velocity and acceleration, and the bigger person doesn't understand it, they think they can just get away with doing that, you're going to be able to hit harder. I don't know much about Bruce Lee, but I bet you he figured that out. I bet you he figured that out. What was he, 5'7", probably the same height as me, 100 and whatever pounds. I bet you he figured that out. That's how you even the playing field. That's how my wife and the women I teach even the playing field. Because if they understand that better than the bigger guys who come here, or my older students, more advanced students that come here, if the ladies understand that even more and are able to apply it better, they will hit hard. You're not going to be in the way of those strikes. Now, I'm going to end on this, just so we understand ourselves clearly. You know why all this stuff is happening? You know what it is? You are not sticking to something important for your life from day one. Everybody's jumping around, this system, that system, going over here, and piecing it all together. I never had to piece this together. This system came intact from 1970. Can you see that? Can some of you see that? Let me see if you get the glare out of that. You probably can't get the glare, but I wish you could see it. Anyway, let me see if I can get the glare. If you could see the top right there, I'll read it to you if you can. Right there. Right there. There we go. Right there. If you can see the top right there, you know what that says? TCF, the system manual locked. All of these notes I give you guys are locked in here from day one. Well, you know what? It took me 10, 12, 13, 14 years to learn it. But it was all together. I've heard one person say to me, gee, it's like TCF has all the answers. Because we understand the objective view of combat. The objective things that matter, that cross all systems. And everybody's piecing it together, going all around. You're never going to get it that way. Stick to something. Stick to something. And understand, maybe you should understand when something is missing. We feel no need to go anywhere else. Zero. Why am I the only person talking about this? Why are there people on the internet talking about, oh, let's work speed one day and power then? It's because they don't know. They're grabbing from here and grabbing from there. Learn to stick to something, or else you'll be a master at nothing. My wife said this, I'm not going to say to who recently. She said this. She said, it's like you have, I'm looking at all these things, and you have no mastery of nothing. You have no mastery, right? At least in karate, right? Boom! They have the mastery of the reverse punch. At least in boxing, boom, boom! They have the mastery of the combinations. But a lot of these electric systems out there, they have no mastery of nothing. Learn to master, and here's your first step. Now, are there drills to develop more speed? Yes, they are. You got to come pay for that. I ain't going to give that away for free. As my wife says, I'm giving it away too much for free. But at least you're going to give TCF credit the next time this comes up to make my wife happy and myself, or G. Anthony, that, hey, this system, right? This is one of the most complete systems I know. Now, I'll give away one secret to speed. One secret. And it goes like this. There are 5 of those. Don't worry, Joe. Don't worry, Steve. I won't give away those. Dwight, I'm okay. I won't go anymore. Kendall, Milad, right? And there's a reason why I did it like that. And there is also a way to train strength that develops that kind of snapback speed. I ain't going to give that away either. I did kind of sneak it to Carlos, I think it was recently. I ain't going to give away no more. You understand? So there is no difference between speed day and power day. God, I can just feel the boom, the energy coming right up through my body. That snapback. Ask any of my students I taught long ago. Did I ever come into the club and say, oh, today we're going to work on speed and tomorrow we're going to work on power? I probably never even mentioned it. And yet you don't want to get hit by any of those guys or girls from long ago, even the ones that are today that are still here. I love you all, right? I hope that makes sense. And I love you, all of you, okay? I know I rant. It's the G-Spot rant, baby. Maybe I should open a podcast. What do you think? All right, guys, take care. Bye, and lovely ladies.